Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and very warm welcome to all of you to the eISL, sponsored by Coca-Cola with associate partners Hero Gaming, esports partner Nodwin Gaming, and also with digital collectible partners Terra Virtua, uh, along with our platform partners PlayStation. And well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Super Johnny. We are about to begin a very exciting journey, which is going to be a 3-day affair. And joining me right now, it is going to be people that you have been watching for a very long time, for the past 4 months. So please welcome Azim and Fixes. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the show, Azim.
Oh, lovely to be here. Nice to be in a physical studio for once.
Yes.
I mean, we've been doing this in a virtual studio for 4 months now, but it's nice to I can reach out and touch Fixes. It's cool.
It's a reality right now. I mean, of course, I've been here for a long time, but in studio having Azim in person, that's an amazing feeling because we also have our players just right next to us. Everyone decked up to play.
Yeah.
But talking about the storyline that we have, Johnny, it's getting more exciting than ever because we never really thought that we would be entering into today's day with such set of matchups in front of us.
Exactly. I mean, it is like a lot of exciting things happening at the same time as you talked about matchup, you guys meeting as well.
Yeah.
And again, the matchups are made more exciting by what is on the line for these lads. I mean, talk about a massive prize pool of 78 lakh rupees. Plus, there is money for the MVP of the tournament as well, and a lot more going on, ladies and gentlemen. So, as we talked about it, 78 lakhs in total for the entire duration of 4 months, but the top 4 distribution, it is quite interesting. 15 lakhs for the team that wins.
Oh yeah, and it even gets better because you've got 4 lakhs for the MVP. That's separate, and we've got a whole different competition happening. We'll of course get back to that a little bit later, but for the first time in the history of Indian FIFA, we've got a massive 78 lakh prize pool, and along with that, we have the FGS golden ticket.
And along with that, also for the MVP, there's the personalized NFT by our digital collectible partners Terra Virtua as well, which is, I believe, going to be making that one individual very happy. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, to get yourself immortalized for being the top goal scorer in India's premier eFootball tournament, I think is absolutely fantastic. And it's just we expected this to completely go the opposite way, right? If we look at the brackets as well, I mean, this is the opposite of what we thought would happen. It's FC Goa up against Mumbai City FC, but in the top bracket final. So it's pretty interesting.
I mean, and that's what playoffs are all about, right? The scripts getting turned. And well, since we talked about brackets, let's have a look at where we are right now. So we're going to be starting off with the upper bracket finale, FC Goa going up against Mumbai City FC, and then I mean, we will have SE's Bengal, Chennai and FC. Whoever wins gets to move forward and participate in the lower bracket finale. It is an exciting journey. I mean, we are just about a few days away from finding out who will be the champion of the eISL. And you guys have been watching these clubs for, well, the entire duration now. How have you seen them evolve? I mean, what was the story like for the two teams that were about to witness FC Goa and Mumbai City FC?
Yeah, I mean, for FC Goa, I think we've seen a big transformation in their team dynamic. We saw like that first time we saw Afnan getting absolutely smashed by Jamshedpur FC. Akash, I think, went and absolutely tore him apart 6-0, I think it was in his first game. And then suddenly his evolution to now almost being that lead player. He's the guy who goes up, takes that first pressure game, gets the result. I mean, he might not win each time, but he gets the draw. He gives V Sharma that platform to go out and get the result. And for Mumbai City FC, they've just gone from strength to strength. Yeah, it's just been Tikka has been the form of his life. Ashwin is scoring last-minute goals. It's all great.
I mean, for Afnan specifically, he's been one of those players that we have seen has evolved massively, right? Going on to beat the likes of Ankit Sharma, for a 1-0, and that too when the stakes are the highest, right? It was a 115th minute goal.
Yeah.
So again, you never would want to disregard Afnan because he's always there. And getting on to V Sharma has always been that Mr. Dependable. Lately had been having a little bit of a slip in form, but I think the last encounter against SC East Bengal, he shunned down all his critics.
Exactly. Their last encounter, the previous matchups that they've had were very interesting and very intense. We do have the scoreboard in front of us and what went down against the collision with SC East Bengal.
Yeah, absolutely. Afnan managing to get that late goal. Of course, these games do go into extra time. It's not just 90 minutes. And of course, every game is decided. There's no drawing over here. You win or you lose. And of course, potentially you end up going home today. It could be one of those, of course. But that's for later on in the day between SC East Bengal. Yeah, also the last encounters between these two teams have been interesting because it's been very easily, like very evenly matched, you'd have to say.
And if you take a look at that, even in the first encounter when Afnan went up against Mumbai City FC, it was him who got the team that much needed win. But later on, when we sort of moved on to the second matchup, it all came down to Mumbai City FC sort of getting their sweet revenge story. So it's a 1-each scoreline between these two teams. They haven't gone up against each other in the playoffs. This is the first time when the stakes are the highest. Everything is on the line. The pressure, I think, is going to come down to the point where whoever breaks that sweat goes home.
Exactly, and since we've been talking quite a lot about Mumbai City FC, I mean, they are also here with quite a staggering performance in their previous matchup going up against Chennai and FC, which was super exciting to watch because Chennai and FC was hailed by many as the best team in the league. And, well, Mumbai City just beating them out, proving that they have what it takes to be in the upper bracket final.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Tikka. I mean, to go up against Saranj Jain, literally one of the best players in Southeast Asia, and to put in such a convincing performance. I don't think there was ever a point in that game where Tikka looked at all uncomfortable, and Saranj just did not have an answer to him at all. And it's just brilliant to see again how Tikka has come from strength to strength. Like, we looked at him almost as this wild card kind of player who tends to get those results against the big players but slightly falls away in the other matches. But now he's just got that baseline consistency going.
Absolutely agreed with you. He's been having a roller coaster of journey, both on and off the field. He's been through a lot, and here he is. Now, we've talked about FC Goa. As you head on to talk about Mumbai City FC, these two lads, we sort of called Ashwin, that little chocolate boy out there. He's got that smile all the time on his face, loves that camera attention. But once he gets into his playing mode, right, he has no care about the world. He is an assassin. And, talking about assassin, how can we forget his last minute goal that time to secure that win with Ruud Gullit out of every player. So again, this is going to be one of those matchups that everyone's looking forward to, especially the players, because once asked, who do you want to go up against in the grand finals, these two named each other.
I mean, because they have went up against each other, and I think it's time to settle a score, as Azim pointed out. So far, it has been even between these two teams. The last two times they collided, one time it was FC Goa taking the win. The next time it was Mumbai City FC coming back, and the score is 1-1 now, but it won't be for long. Let's have a look at the matchups for today and see exactly who will be facing who and how the players have been matched up against each other this time. So we have Afnan taking on Ashwin in Game 1 of Match 1. Game 2, Match 1 will be V Sharma going up against Tikka, and the 2v2 will happen after that. So again, the final score will be settled. One team will be moving forward straight away to the grand finals. The other team, if they lose, whoever loses will be going to the lower bracket, and maybe they will have another opportunity to tie it all up again.
Johnny, a little bit of a backstory for all our viewers out there. The two playoffs games that we did have were straight-up games, right? Nothing really went to the co-op game. It was all decided. But, when you take a look at this particular matchup, this completely oozes out that we do have a third game coming in line for you guys, and maybe a potential penalty shootout. I don't think I'm going to be surprised if I get to see something like that.
I mean, we won't be surprised, but we'll definitely be happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And considering the fact that both these teams, particularly FC Goa, have relied very heavily on those co-op matches to get the results through this season. So we've seen Mumbai City FC as well score some absolutely blinding co-op goals. We've seen, I still remember the one goal with the cross, the header back across goal, and the finish with Ashwin and Tikka. And Tikka himself has looked back and said that was one of the best co-op goals of the tournament. So very evenly matched. I mean, I don't think you can really pick a favorite between these two teams. They both want to play against each other. There's a little bit of a grudge match going over there. So just rubbing hands with anticipation now.
I mean, we're just waiting to see what is going to happen in this matchup. But we do see the players now, and they look completely focused.
Did you look at Ashwin? He loves it. This victory sign. He already beams that they're going to win this one out. But if you take a look at the statistics, clearly you can see that Mumbai City FC has been one of those teams that love scoring goals. And FC Goa, initially when things started off, when we were kicking in the first month itself, they sort of established themselves to be the best co-op unit. Now, again, against the likes of Mumbai City FC, you do not know how that really pans out. Now, this is exactly what I was talking about. Afnan securing that most pivotal win against Mumbai City FC when this was the one of those teams that went on to defeat the likes of SC Bengal. The only L that you did see for most of the time in the eISL was caused by Mumbai City FC. So both these teams, you really can't rule them out in the second matchup. However, it came down to the third matchup where it went to the co-op, and that is where Mumbai City FC did do some damage. They did manage to beat the best co-op unit in the eISL and managed to secure home those 3 points.
But I think the story for today, the players might want it to be a little bit different. They don't, like, we would love to see those co-op matches being the decider ones, but these guys would love to end things early, just make sure that the 1v1s is where the scores are settled. And look at everyone, so focused, so prepared for each other. We have a head-to-head for Afnan and Ashwin. And again, I mean, it is going to be very interesting to see how they have planned this collision for today.
I think this is somewhere, you know, you would need Azim's expertise because we've got the new cards also up and running. A lot of those players that which we did get to see in the initial matches of the eISL have finally returned back. So I think we're going to see some strategical changes. Z, why don't you tell us something about it?
Yeah, of course. We do have those prime moments icon cards now available to us as we have a look at the head-to-head over here. Ashwin, of course, one of those guys who's been a very free-scoring player, shall we say. Afnan generally tends to rely on like low-scoring games, 0-0s, 1-0s. We've seen a lot of those. We have seen a 5-4 with him as well occasionally, but that's the exception and not the rule. Whereas Ashwin has put in those performances. He scored 5 goals, 6 goals, scored all sorts of long-range screamers using the likes of, you know, Kevin De Bruyne and all those guys. But we do see those new cards now available. We do have the likes of Zidane and stuff available, and it does look like we've already kicked off. So let's have a look at what the meta is for today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And FC Goa heading in straight on from left to right in their orange jerseys. On the other side, we do have Mumbai City FC in their black, trying to get their legs on the ball, of course, but haven't really succeeded. So initially what we've seen in these KG affairs is players tend to have a lot of possession onto themselves. They love to retain that. But there's another thing that we have also noticed, that they take a second or third shot before they try to go for a goal, and this could potentially be one, and it is indeed, with Pele coming out on top. Afnan getting that early goal for FC Goa, and it is 1-0.
Oh, what an absolute start over here this is for FC Goa. Brilliant. You had 3 bites of the cherry there for Afnan, taking those shots, and it's brilliantly done. Not the finish that he would have liked, that easy tap-in, but gets that goal, and it's done. It's 1-0 straight away.
I mean, we were just barely breathing. We thought, you know, it's going to be one of those moments where we would have the build-up and everything, but no. Afnan had completely different notions in his minds, and he's come out, and this is some early pressure that I believe Azim Ashwin is not used to.
Yeah, it was not something that we were expecting at all. I mean, to see a goal this early on, and usually it's the guy in black. It's usually Ashwin who's the guy who opens the scoring, and we do see that he's got that prime moments Ronaldinho card in there as well. So clearly he's been experimenting a bit. And Cruyff up top as well, one of those players making a return now with that new meta. But great to see Afnan just taking this game by the scruff of the neck and getting in behind nice and early over there. Again trying to do that. But this time, Ashwin manages to deal with that. And he's going to try to go down that left flank using, of course, Cafu, who is well, also making his return into the meta for the eISL. But here we go. There's Ruud Gullit in there. Now with Zidane in towards Cruyff, tries to turn and get that shot away, but just not quite possible over here. But still, it is Cruyff well defended over there by Afnan again, just using that upper body strength of Ruud Gullit to get that job done. And now looking to get in behind again.
Oh yeah, and for now, you know, FC Goa really need to get themselves another goal. Now, if they really want to have that domination going on for themselves again, establishing that midfield dominance, and with Messi through that right wings, they've got to try and head it and do something at all. But I think this version of Afnan is something that all the FC Goa fans, all the gods out here would have wanted, and he's delivered the same. Oh. Again, finding a beautiful pass onto with Pele, but this time was well dealt with, and Mumbai City FC, they desperately need a goal here, Azim.
Oh yeah, I mean, and again he's given that ball away with Messi. Will Afnan think about that left foot finish shot? I wonder. Goes for the shot, goes near post this time, but it is pushed away by the goalkeeper. It is a corner, so the pressure still remains on for FC Goa. Let's see if they can make something of it. Afnan, not somebody who's generally profited too much from corner kicks in the past. He decides to just go and take it a little bit slow, getting N'Golo Kante involved over there. And you have to say, a very, very smart and composed game from Afnan over here. He's doing his thing, not getting overawed by the occasion.
Yeah.
Of course, the younger boy over there, just 19 years of age, and going up against, shall we say, the more experienced, the veteran, shall we say,
Right.
Ashwin, who's, of course, 24 right now. And it does look like the... shall we say, the apprentice has become the master for these opening 30 minutes.
And this is what we were talking about even before the show starts, right? About this young blood that goes in with FC Goa. They have something they want to prove, and this is exactly showing up. And now for Ashwin, it's clear that he's rattled. But more importantly than ever, he has to retain that possession at this particular moment. He cannot let Afnan do whatever he's trying to do. And Afnan clearly very confident with his build-ups, this midfield battle that he's winning for so long. And I think this is going to help him somewhere down the line. I'm talking about Afnan getting one more goal in if he keeps this tempo going in.
Yeah, and he might have an opportunity over here getting Messi in on the right flank. A bit of a heavy first touch, and that does allow Ruben Diaz to get in there. Wins that ball high up the field. This could be a huge opportunity, and it is. It is 2-0 to Afnan, and a very, very cheap giveaway over there by Ashwin. Very, very uncharacteristic of him. And Afnan absolutely pouncing over there, getting that goal and giving himself a really, really good cushion going into half-time.
Oh yeah, and this is getting worse for Mumbai City FC. But like we just were talking about this, Afnan, he is looking sublime today. The way he's come in, the confidence and everything. Even V Sharma chiming in, giving a few more pointers. I think this kid has done really well. And whatever plans they come up with, and they did come up with, are certainly seeming to work out. And few scrappy goals we can say, but I think I like it. As long as you're getting the scoring on, you're keeping the ball rolling, and he's been maintaining possession for the majority of the half. I think this is one of those halves that Ashwin would want to forget. But how does he recover? He needs to score one in at least before the half-time, Azim.
Yeah, I do wonder if he's going to try to revert to his to the old meta, shall we say, bring on the likes of the Messis and CR7s. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a Messi brought on by Ashwin at halftime, because it doesn't look like that Ronaldinho card is working particularly well for him. And Ashwin just hasn't managed to get any control of the game. I think Afnan has pressed him really, really hard. Even though he's sitting, if you look at the radar, he's actually sitting fairly deep in defense. So he's allowing Ashwin to come in there, but you can see that's the pressure. Those are the nerves telling right there. Ashwin just walking that ball out, and now over here with Messi on the ball and Hakimi. So it does look like Ashwin has tried to be the more experimental player over here, going back to the likes of Cafu and Cruyff and Ronaldinho, but Afnan just going with what has worked for him, that standard back four of the Team of the Year cards. No icons in that back four for him, and it's doing the job so far.
Yeah, as long as it's not broken, there's no need of fixing. So that is something Afnan has really taken seriously about. So I think in terms of his personnel that he has deployed, he's looking really good, especially the way he's keeping that passing game strong for himself, finding all the right passes, just piercing through Ashwin's defense, and he's done that twice. And now for the third time, heading in with N'Golo Kante. He's got to beat this defender and has to move out, but instead goes for a back pass on towards Hakimi, passing it on towards Pele, as he was for a moment. I really thought that he could get another pass in, but Ruud Gullit just coming in clutch and making sure that it does not get 3-0 over there, because that would have spelled disaster for Mumbai City FC had that gotten in. So 2-0 just before the halftime, when FC Goa, they're looking really strong. I mean, at this point, Mumbai City FC, they need nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah, but I mean, if there is anybody who's capable of pulling that rabbit out of the hat, it is Ashwin. He is a very, very high-scoring player. Afnan over there, so lost in the moment of scoring the goal, almost leaving his teammate hanging with a fist bump over there, but all good. They managed to get it done. And over here, like you thought the chance was gone after that corner kick, but again, you see over here, Ashwin has the ball, has it again, just takes that 1 second too long, and at this level, 1 second is enough to cost you that goal. 2-0 it is, and Afnan, I wonder what V Sharma is saying to him right now. Is he saying, you know what, just keep going and attacking, go for the kill, or just keep hold of that ball, frustrate Ashwin? Because I really can't remember Ashwin having any kind of sustained possession in this entire first half.
Exactly. I mean, if we had the possession stats up and running, it would have been more evident and more visible, because Ashwin was completely looking off. But I think this could all change over here. And now trying to make a run with Cafu from that right wing, pass it on towards Zidane with Rude. It goes in again, but hits the crossbar. And, Rude Hullet had always been that magical player that had done the job for Ashwin. But now on a counter-attack, this is Afnan heading in with Messi. He's got that pace that he can use. He's got a lot of room also to make that right pass onto Pele. Yes. This could be absolutely going in. But a defense. Now finally awake, I must say.
No, that was so close again. Again, looked like it was worked perfectly there by Afnan. Found that perfect through ball through that middle channel. And again, you can see on defense, very alert, tracking the run of Rude Hullet over there, not allowing him to get in. But this time, he has to make a decision. Does he go for the forward? And this time it is in. Ashwin right back in there again. Sort of forked Ashnan over there by saying, okay, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay with Ronaldo? Are you going to go for the run? Either way, he would have that option. Went for the Marseille roulette and bang into the corner. Ashwin right back in this. Into that corner it goes. I think Afnan will wish the keeper had done a better job than that, because it did look like he was covering the far post. But there we go. Suddenly it's game on again after a very dominant first half for Afnan. Suddenly 2-1.
Yeah.
And this is where those doubts can really start to creep in and lead to, well, more nerves than there already are.
Yeah, at this point, Afnan has to score one more to establish his domination back into the game. But I really loved what Ashwin did, right? A little bit of a switch in his play, where you could see more of that Tikka vibe coming out, right? Because Tikka is usually one of those players that gets inside the box, performs a trick, beats the defender, and then goes in for the shot. And in comparison to Ashwin, who loves to take all those chop back finesse shots, he loves to go take his chances, which he clearly tried with Rude Hullet, did at the crossbar. I don't think he's going to shy away from trying something like that again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ashwin, he's going to bring out all the tricks in the book. I'm actually quite surprised we haven't seen Afnan attempt any of those long-range shots. He's been getting that Messi card into a lot of good positions. And I do wonder now if he's going to be thinking back to that big chance that he had just shortly before Ashwin had his goal. And taking a few chances over there. You don't want to be playing those balls back across defense. It's very, very risky, but gets away with it. Now, what's Afnan's plan going to be over here? It looks like for right now it's just to keep possession, but surely he can't just hang on to possession for 30 minutes. He can't just keep passing it at the back, although that looks like what he's doing over here. And I'm sure Ashwin will start to get a little bit annoyed and frustrated by that, because it will, I mean, the nature of how the game works is that you only get a limited amount of team press available to you, unless you have your tactics specifically set to constant pressure. And maybe that's what Afnan's trying to get Ashwin to do, but a cheap giveaway over there, and that's what you can't afford. But that recovery pace, that's why you have Hakimi in the team, for that recovery pace. And Afnan now just trying to hold on, trying to consolidate, but the pressure from Ashwin is going to keep ramping up.
Oh yeah, and I think this could be one of those chances which Afnan needs to take, right? He's been making all those right passes, but has been looking a little bit rattled just after that first goal. I think this one goal, if he can manage to score, would really finish all his woes, but not really making it happen, because now suddenly Mumbai City FC, they have been looking really good on their defenses, which was not the case in the first half. But what an amazing ball coming in from Ronaldinho there, and nothing much could come out of it. Passes on towards Hullet with Zidane. Has got to look for Cruyff. With Pele has a little bit of a room in space. Wanted to go with a scale move, but has been stolen away. Now it is going to be FC Goa's attack, and what it off.
Yeah, just about surviving that. And now 75 minutes. This is the moment. Do you stick or do you twist? If you are Afnan, do you try to play on that counter-attack and actively look for the goals? And it does look like he's trying to get Messi in behind over there. Might succeed over here. He's got Pele on the wing. And these are the areas he can't afford to give it away. You'd rather just keep passing it around. You'd rather get a goal kick or something like that. Great turn away. But Cafu in the way to make that tackle. And now coming forward with Zidane is Ashwin. Running out of time is Ashwin, and also running out of the ball over there, running out of possession. Now, what does he have? Because you do know at some point we're going to see that pause cued from Ashwin. At some point he's going to go all out attack. But will it be too late this time? Afnan makes the mistake and Ashwin can head right up the pitch again.
Yeah, and this has to come in quick, right? You've just got 10 more minutes remaining inside the game, and if Mumbai City FC do not manage to score one more, do not get that equalizer, and then it's done and dusted for them. A huge setback and a lot of pressure building up for Tikka heading into game number 2 and against V Sharma. I mean, you would not really want to be in that sort of a situation. But here, Ashwin here to change all the odds and try to score one with Cruyff has been one of those player of the moment cards. We did get to see him back into the playing 11 quite often. But at the Gores, they are somehow managing to hold on. Donnarumma has been the keeper of choice for Afnan for quite a long time. And the press this time has to be ultra-attacking from Mumbai City FC, because nothing short of that. They have to go all in, because in the next 5 minutes, if they do not find a goal, then this ends over here.
Yeah, and Afnan trying his best to waste as much time as he can and had won the ball back. Well, he has won it back again. And crucial tackle over there with Hullet to win that ball back, because without that Afnan was in with a chance at goal. And now Ashwin, the clutch master, the late goal specialist, is he going to find another one? Not yet. He still has the opportunity. There's still time to go. Maybe one play if Afnan loses that ball, and yeah, seeing it out now. Just needs to hold on to that ball and the job is done. We go into stoppage time. This is surely the last attack for Ashwin. We know what he did the last time he was in this situation. Just smashed it into the top corner. But no, it's not going to be the win this time for Ashwin. And Afnan sees it out, gets that win. 2-1 it is. A very nervy second half, but Ashwin just could not break the door down, and Afnan gets the job done, gets his win, and now it's over to V Sharma and Tikka. What an absolute epic that's going to be.
Oh yes, that indeed is. And such a sigh of relief for Afnan, right? Has always been that Mr. Dependable for FC Goa. Had been doing that heavy lifting even when V Sharma was not in the best of his form. But right now, he's recovered pretty well. And looking at V Sharma in the past matches also, I think I was really happy with how he performed. So clearly heading in against East Bengal, managed to get that really close win against Shayantan, who I have no complaints against, because he's been the Mr. Dependable. He did whatever he could, but V Sharma just a notch above. But against Tikka, I must say this, Azim, it's going to be so difficult, because two players who have different styles of play going up against each other. I think we're looking at a very beautiful game up ahead.
I mean, even this was pretty interesting, considering Afnan, when the match started, he was out for blood. Within the first 5 minutes, scoring like that was just impressive.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine after that what must have been going through Ashwin's head, because once you concede a goal that early, and when it is a match of the upper bracket final, pressure is going to kick in, you're going to get nervous, and well, you might start panicking. But he sort of regrouped quite nicely and managed to score at least one goal, which is going to make the situation a little bit manageable for, I feel, Tikka when he comes on taking on V Sharma. But still, when it rains, it pours. 2 goals in the first half. That was just impressive.
Yeah, very, very good job over there. And it took him like 3 bites of the cherry to score that goal finally. And I think he would have been, almost feeling at that time that the chance is gone, it's over, I messed it up. But no, fortune favoring him just slightly over there. Had his opportunities. It could even have been, honestly, 3 or 4 1 by the end of the game, because Afnan did have those chances to score those goals. But yeah, over there, I think this one was really a mistake from Ashwin. I mean, just taking too much time on that ball, and at this level, you just cannot afford to give those cheap giveaways right outside your own box. And a big result for Afnan. And now V Sharma going up against Tikka. Tikka, you would have to say, as we see Ruud Hullet rattling that crossbar. We saw it rattle the crossbar and go in against Nodwin of Chennai and FC, but not to be this time. But a good goal brought back to get that 2-1 by Ashwin, but unfortunately couldn't do too much more than that. But as I was saying, Tikka is that form player right now. He's the guy who is probably playing the best FIFA of his, not so long career, shall we say. And yeah, if you just have a look at the stats over there, I think complete dominance from FC Goa everywhere. Expected goals 2.6 to 0.5. So a very complete performance by Afnan.
I agree with you on one thing, Azim, is the fact that Afnan could have scored a lot more had he not decided to go on the defensive
Yep.
in the second half. Because, I mean, from the start, I believe of the second half, it was just like the intentions were clear. Keep possession for as long as possible.
Yeah.
And as Azim also pointed out, just try and make sure Ashwin is getting annoyed at the same time.
And now this is something that is not really celebrated amongst the FIFA players
Oh,
when
yeah.
you tend to hog on to the ball pretty early on, and we could clearly see him around the defensive areas. But hey, I'm not going to complain because you've got 15 lakhs. Whoever wants to win this out. So if I have to do that for the entirety of the game, might as well go for it.
Well, let's hear for now from Afnan himself as to how he was able to get those early goals in. Well, Afnan, welcome to this interview. How are you feeling about this win?
Yeah, I'm feeling happy that I was able to get the win for my team, especially in such an important game, in such a big game. And it was a very intense game. Like again, I won by just only one goal. But
Yeah.
it's okay. Like I'm happy that I was able to get the win for my team.
But before I give it over to the difficult questions, the people who are going to be asking the difficult question, I want to ask one question. Before you went into the match, did you like decide early, like, all right, I'm going to score the goal within the first 5 minutes, within the first 10 minutes, and just like get an easy win right there?
No, actually, you can't, decide that you can just go in a game and score goals early on because, the opponents here are like Ashwin is a very good opponent.
Yeah.
So, you just have to wait for your opportunity. No matter when it arrives in whatever minute of the game it arrives, you just have to take your opportunity. So, like, I didn't have any plans of scoring like early on.
But how was your game plan like? Because you had those 5-6 days before you could get into the playing field back again. So against Mumbai City FC, I think I remember the first matchup that you went up against each other. You were the one who mattered the most because your win decided the entirety
Yeah.
of the game. So heading into this one, what was your plans?
No, I just practiced a bit with Vansh. He told me a couple of things against of Ashwin's gameplay because they both play a lot. So he told me that he does this, he does that, and you have to counter this, you can do this. So I just stick to the instructions that he told me, and they worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a clear game plan from you to not give Ashwin the ball as much as possible. So was that part of the thinking? Because it seemed that you control that entire game. I don't think Ashwin, apart from that goal and maybe that one long range shot with Hullet, he ever threatened you. So did you feel in control throughout that match?
Yeah, I mean, I felt comfortable because, when the score was 2-1, I thought, and the 50 and 60 minutes were gone. I thought that Ashwin would come and press me, but, he was waiting for me to go into the attacking mode. So, he didn't press too much. And so that was the moment I realized that, he's not pressing me a lot. So I can just keep the ball. And when he decides to press me, I can go on the attack. So, like, that wasn't a game plan of mine from the start, but, it just came at the moment.
Well, I mean, living within the moment is how you win, right? And how you have
Yeah.
fun. This was, Afnan, a very brilliant performance from you. Congratulations on the win. And I guess after the deal is done, after the entire series is done, it will be time to celebrate. But thank you so much for joining us for this interview, man.
Thank you.
So a lovely win by Afnan right there,
Yeah.
but now his teammate needs to replicate the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's not going to be easy. As I said,
Yes.
Tikka is the form player in the eISL right now, playing the best FIFA of, as I said, his career, going up against guys like Saranch and absolutely playing them off
Oh,
the
yeah.
park. We've seen him in a 6-0 or 7-0. I think he's probably scored the biggest individual
Yeah.
win of anybody in the tournament in just the last couple of weeks. So he'll be confident. He's really feeling it, and going up against V Sharma, who also got a pretty big clutch win last time out. So I mean, it's too tight to call. There's no way of knowing which way this will go.
It's the clash of the titans, like
Yep.
two of the best players in the league going up against each other, and that too in the upper bracket finals. I think you could not ask for more, right?
Johnny, like you, I'm a believer. I think this is going to game number 3, considering, Tikka, when he's got his backs against the wall, he tends to put his best foot forward and sort of delivers for his team. And this is exactly what the Islanders read right now. But at the same point, like mentioned earlier also, they've played against each other a
Yeah.
lot. I think Vanshaj clearly knows how Tikka loves to go really individual in terms of how he enters inside the box. We've seen him do
Yeah.
that time and time again and still succeed. They hasn't been countered, right? He goes in, performs a skill move, and takes a shot. So if Vanshaj can do something about that, then he's definitely putting a leash onto him. But otherwise, if Tikka starts to explode, then there's no stopping this man.
Azim, what do you think? What does Tikka need to come up with in terms of strategy to take on V Sharma right now? Because I mean,
Yeah.
V Sharma's form has also been pretty solid.
Yeah, I think Tikka is the kind of a player that poses a problem for V Sharma because Tikka is so good in those small tight spaces. V Sharma tends to play a very narrow formation. He plays that 4-1-2-1-2 diamond formation, which doesn't give you a lot of space. But if there is one player capable of manufacturing space where there is no space, that is the only Karman Tikka. So it's going to be a challenge for him. He knows he's backs against the wall, but it's in the pressure matches that Tikka has usually
Yeah.
brought his A game. So yeah, I mean, no way to know how it's going to go. Are the nerves going to get to Tikka today? Vanshaj, I mean, it's been a mixed bag from him in terms of those big pressure games. Sometimes he's really come up clutch. Sometimes it's absolutely fallen apart for him. So you can see he's obviously got the advantage in terms of that skill level at the 2150 rating versus the 1964. So there is a quantifiable skill gap in terms of their online division rankings, but in terms of the eISL stats, I mean, you can't really pick a side out of there. It's just so close over there. 41 goals scored to 44 out of those 21 matches played. So very evenly matched, both of these players, and they're definitely going to be. I see this going beyond the 90 minutes, honestly.
Maybe a penalty shootout.
Yeah.
I think that's not going to surprise me. But these two gentlemen out here, they're going to set with nothing than a win, right? So we're going to get something from their side. But, you know, once we talk about V Sharma, right? He's got that little bit of a new hairdo after cutting off those longer hairs and now has been touted as the Indian Beckham in the ISL. But going up against Karman Tikka, like we've discussed, it's not going to be an easy affair. Both have different styles of play. V Sharma loves to have possession, loves to get all those passes going in his favor. But here we have game on, and it's again FC Goa in the orange from left to right. We do have Mumbai City FC in their black from right to left, and this time Tikka making sure he gets as much time on the ball as he can, needs to hold on and retain that early possession. Because from what we've seen in the first game, this was the entirety which sort of defined how the first goal came out. Because FC Goa, they held on to the majority of it and went on to score a goal. And a similar thing can sort of repeat over here. Classic Tikka tactics being on display, but V Sharma being very sound on his defense.
Yeah, V Sharma, I mean, he'll know what to expect now. He knows that once Tikka gets into those positions, he wants to get into that 1v1 situation and just get that shot away as quickly and as efficiently as possible. But you can see V Sharma set up relatively defensively, just like Afnan was in terms of midfield, going with Hullet and Conte over there, both more defense-minded midfielders, as opposed to Tikka, who's gone with Hullet and Zidane, who gives you a few more options while you're attacking. But it is now Tikka trying to get in, not a particularly explosive start from either player, but now Tikka trying to go up those gears and get that shot away. But V Sharma, we do know he is very solid on defense. He really knows how to marshal the players, he knows how to send you away from the space that you want to be in, and he's doing a good job of it so far. Let's see if he can prevent Tikka from getting that shot away over there, anticipating this well. And it can be very difficult to anticipate those against Tikka. And it is a corner in the 13th minute over here with Cruyff trying to set up a shot. And now with Mbappe, you can see V Sharma just can absolutely just sprint away, decides to slow it down for a moment. I thought he could have kept going because I think he would have easily been able to outmuscle Cruyff over there. With Mbappe, but well, sometimes you never know how the physics works with the team of the year cards. Yeah, there you go again with Mbappe slowing it down. Now, one of the things we know about V Sharma is I think you can always be relatively sure that he's not going to cross the ball and he's not going to take a long shot. So it does sort of narrow down the options in terms of what you have to do defensively against him. But he's so good in these tight areas. And again, works it brilliantly, has the shot, and it's pulled out. It has been pulled out. It looked like that was in. For all the world, it looked like it was in, but it's been pulled out. Keeper's come quite a far way out as well. Now with Hullet, he's going to try to create space and get R9 into a shooting position, potentially. Now with Cancelo. Oh, well, the ball still falls. Too messy over there, deflected off. But, oh my goodness, what a big chance that was. Still a chance, but this time it's gone. That was so close, Fixes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm really surprised how that did that not go in. But it's okay, right? Again, V. Sharma not clearly being happy about it. Was pretty much vocal out there. But yeah, he's got a different sort of a formation. And Tikka has been there. He's been holding him off for 23 minutes up there. But this is where you would want to see Mumbai City FC, the Islanders, go out and score a goal and start on building some early pressure on towards FC Goa. With Zidane, finds the right pass. No, intercepted over there. Marquinhos coming in clutch. And with Mbappe, wanted to build up that run. But will get the chance with Hakimi though. Finds Mbappe again. Gets a back pass on towards Kante. Has a little bit of a room over there. Could go for maybe a lofted pass, but this is something that you even touched upon, right? V. Sharma does not like to play too flashy, but this is where the sort of a concern, the sort of a doubt comes in that he might actually go for a long finesse shot, maybe when the stakes are the highest, but has a good charge with Ronaldo, takes that shot, but Van der Sar making sure that does not get through, but the attack's still on. Now is where Ruben Diaz just comes in, and this could be a really interesting counter-attack, and Cancelo cancels it away.
Yeah, V. Sharma will be looking to make one of these attacks count now. He's been on top, well on top for the last 15 minutes or so in game, and now needs to get that shot away, needs to get that one shot on target, really start turning that screw on V. Sharma. For now, he's V. Sharma has always done. He's taking it nice and slow and calm and patient, because that's something that he's really good at. He's just slowly passing it around and then suddenly manages to go up those gears and just pull out a couple of unexpected passes. But now, speaking of the unexpected, that's what Tikka specializes in as well. I mean, you can just be in a completely unthreatening situation and then suddenly, before you know it, he's just managed to put a couple of, just chain a couple of skill moves together and get away. But this time, it's no problem at all. The trusty Maldini in there at the back, as always, for V. Sharma. I think he's served him better than most players have in the eISL. Of course, back with his now prime moments, upgraded avatar. Looking for the ball in behind Messi. That's actually well worked. Could have gone for a through ball in there, but this time it falls to Hullet. What's he going to do? Again, going wide over there. He does struggle to create the width because of the system that he plays, V. Sharma. And of course, if he's getting crowded out in the middle with Tikka playing that sort of 4-2-3-1, it does force his central midfielders to go into those wide positions. But now coming from wide is Tikka. Can he do something with this?
It's been goalless so far, and the pressure certainly speaking volumes of what these players are feeling right now in their hearts. And I think here the only mindset that Tikka is coming along with right now is he wants to keep that last attack to himself. Right, just before that first half whistle going in, he wants to be the one trying to go in and score. And we have seen Tikka create a few of those chances, but not really so convincing. The ideal Tikka magic that you really get to see is sort of missing today. You've got to hold on as with Ronaldo trying to get those skill moves going in, up and running. With Mbappe from that right wing, has to find the perfect man, finds Cruyff in, has to get the turnover, and gets this goal being scored, and the Islanders find that break at the brink of the 45 minutes marker and heading into the halftime. This is exactly the situation that they would want to be in, and it's 1-0 up.
Yeah, and just that composure, and that's why I've said time and again that Karman Tikka is the most lethal finisher in the eISL, making it count when he got that one opportunity. He hasn't created anything apart from that in the entire half, but when he got that opportunity, the composure to just be sitting there, sit that goalkeeper down, make that little turn and then shoot it into an empty net. Brilliantly done over there by Tikka. And of course, in a half that was mostly dominated by V. Sharma, I think he'll be kicking himself that he was not able to get that result. But there you go. I mean, this one in particular, how on earth was that saved?
Oh, this is something that we could get to talk to about the winner of this matchup, maybe after the third game. But regardless, I think FC Goa were doing a pretty decent job in pressing Karman Tikka over there. And all Karman Tikka had to do was wait for that right opportunistic moment. And he knew he had to capitalize that. And pretty much a Tikka goal, what you would like to call it, right? He tends to go on those individual plays. But this time found a pass through Mbappe. The moment it came up to Cruyff, I knew he was going to take a turn and then go for that shot. And it worked out perfectly for him. But here we are on with the second half beginning, and FC Goa, this time from right to left, they need to find an equalizer, because if they don't, then things are going to get a little bit messy. They do not want to head into the co-op game, because the statistics then speaks otherwise, because Mumbai City FC have always been the better team against FC Goa in terms of those co-op battles.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been a bit of a mixed bag for them. I think Mumbai City FC winning one and FC Goa winning one. I could be wrong. But in any case, for now, it's all about whether V. Sharma can get his attack going. We would, I think, expect till about 60 or 70 minutes he will keep this attacking shape the same. And then, of course, he will get those fullbacks coming in on the overloads, as his sort of plan B has always been, the narrow formation. And then suddenly, you're just used to seeing an Mbappe or occasionally a Hullet drifting onto that left side. But now suddenly, you'll see a Cancelo and a Hakimi coming on those flanks and bombing forward as well. So that is the ace up the sleeve for V. Sharma. I'm sure we'll see it if he doesn't get that equalizer before that 70 or 80 minute mark. But a bit loose over there from V. Sharma, not something you usually associate with him. And again, just potentially a case of the nerves getting to him. Again, had won that ball back but gave it away. And now Tikka, can he make this count? Oh, yes, he can. Again, instinctive finishing there from Karman Tikka. Just getting that space, beating the defender, and bang, no mercy from Tikka over there. 2-0 it is. V. Sharma needs to, he needs to make the comeback of dreams right now to put FC Goa into that grand finale.
You know, this is where you can kind of start feeling happy if you were an Islander fan, right? Because Mumbai City FC desperately needed the Tikka magic, and boy, it's on. And I think this is something that even we witnessed with Tikka in the past matchup as well, right? He went up against Orange, and he absolutely took him out for a joyride, because once he starts getting up that lead, he starts becoming more fearless. He starts taking all those chances, and this is where V. Sharma needs to respond in the next 15 minutes of in-game time. If he does not score that one goal in, I think we are looking at an even bigger scoreline difference between them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know that V. Sharma now is going to get the fullbacks involved. That's going to be his plan. He's going to go attacking. He has to go attacking. I mean, there's nothing really to lose if you're two goals down and you're not going chasing that game in an upper bracket final match. Then I mean, what's the point? You have to keep going and attacking as much as you can. V. Sharma will take his time. It was really his own mistake that led to his downfall for that second goal. A very cheap giveaway in midfield, which we're not accustomed to seeing. Similar to, you could say, what we saw from Ashwin. In that last game, just giving that ball away under no real pressure. So he will be pretty annoyed with that. Now getting forward with Cancelo is V. Sharma, and it's in situations like these where sometimes you wonder whether if he was a little bit more adventurous in terms of putting in a few long balls and crosses or taking those long shots, he could profit. And I think when he's already created that identity for himself as that guy who just tries to work those intricate plays. Although, hang on, a very cheap giveaway from Tikka over here. Kante, not the guy you want on the shot. Is that going to be a penalty? Nope, nothing given. I think V. Sharma was hoping that it would be anybody out of those top six apart from Kante, because he's, of course, the guy with the lowest shooting stats. But, yeah, there you go. Tikka lives to fight another day.
Yeah, I think this is the moment where V. Sharma has to do something other than what he usually does, right? He needs to surprise him, because now Tikka is, of course, on a break, but Marquinhos making that really crucial intervention. And FC Goa, well, this is a contrast to what we did witness in the first game, right? They're not having a lot of possession that they ideally would have wanted. Clearly, the style of play that V. Sharma feels really comfortable with, but hold on with Messi, passing on to its pull it. Would search for Cancelo, who's also come up. And this could be the goal that changes things up. It's still in play. Van der Sar making such a crucial save here for Mumbai City. FC's got to all change with this goal coming in. And FC Goa finding the right break. But is it enough? The question comes down to that. Do we have another enough time for maybe one more goal? Maybe get that equalizer. This is where things are going to be running in Tikka's mind. Do I play defensive or do I try to go score one more?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same dilemma that, honestly, Afnan was in game one. What does Tikka do? Does he decide to... I'm sure right now he's working on that 4-2-3-1 formation of his and making sure that his wingers are tracking back, his fullbacks are set to stay back at all times, just that flat back four. You're not going to see any adventure from the likes of Cancelo or Hakimi from Mumbai City FC. And what's he going to do now? Is he going to just play that possession game? Obviously, he's going to be forcing V Sharma to go and press him. I think it's too early for V Sharma to put on that constant pressure instruction because it will fatigue his players. And every second that he doesn't have the ball, Vanchaj is going to be just so frustrated by it. You can see over there getting the fullback forward. Very adventurous, you'd have to say, from Tikka. Needs to make sure he doesn't lose that ball over here because he could be very badly exposed on defense. But doing the job well right now. He's basically doing what Afnan did in that first game. Just playing a little bit of keep ball, but has to be careful because V Sharma, if he anticipates one correctly, he could be on that counter-attack.
Yeah, it could get really deadly. And, at this point, the gods would want that equalizer very fast because time is of the essence. And just 10 minutes, it just passes out in a bit jiffy. So, clearly, Karman Tikka doing what Afnan did against Ashwin. Hold on to the possession as long as he can. But this is what we were talking about, right? These crucial breaks. And now with Mbappe, you do have that blistering pace that you can really use. We haven't seen much of substitutions being made from either of these two players. And at a certain point, you are going to start looking for them. But from where around we're going with Messi, he wanted to get in, but the defense from Mumbai City FC completely solid, on point, just how they wanted it. With Ronaldinho, he's just got that one man to beat over there and gave a good little pass. But still, this is where it gets really frustrating for V Sharma, where Karman Tikka, all he's going to do is try to hog on to the possession that he has for the next 5 minutes, and it's a job well done.
Yeah, and you can see just Hakimi absolutely... Oh, he's given that away. And now V Sharma just has to be very precise with how he plays this, because if he gives this ball away, he's not going to see it for another few minutes.
Yeah.
So he has to make this count. Getting the fullbacks forward, has the overload on both flanks. This time goes with Eusebio and finds Messi trying to find a gap that did not exist over there. And I think now surely it's done unless he can win that ball back here. Nope, I think Tikka will just about see this out. It's going to be a throw to V Sharma, so he gets that last attack.
Oh yeah, but not a lot of time remaining, right? At this point, he cannot manage to lose the ball onto him. And this is where it all ends. And I don't think Karman Tikka has any intentions of letting this ball go. But this would have been such a cheap giveaway. But there you go. Tikka doing all that magic, and could have been a goal, could have been an equalizer, but the full-time whistle, I'm pretty sure a lot of fans are not going to be happy with the referee there, but you can't do anything about it. It's all in the virtual world, Johnny. And boy, oh boy, just we were anticipating that this might be the point where we get to see that extra time, that goal really coming in, maybe a penalty shootout, but...
Yeah.
That was bizarre.
Oh, you can see the emotion over there for V Sharma. He's so annoyed that he couldn't get that win. But hey, you got to keep your chin up. There's still one more game to go. There is still a game to go over there. And, well, not just one game, potentially two games. Of course, this is the upper bracket finale. If you don't win in this, you potentially can still have that chance to redeem yourselves. But man,
There is a very nice safety cushion available to these lads, and I have to say, from V Sharma, that was a very aggressive start, and he did in fact take a lot of shots on target. But kudos to Mumbai City FC and especially Van der Sar from their side. What amazing goalkeeping in the early stages.
Yeah, we were all baffled as in how on earth that did not go in. But I think clearly Azim would also agree with me on this, because Van der Sar has been one of those players that we have really wanted him to be the MVP in the eISL, making all those really ludicrous saves. But this time, I think not really working out for V Sharma. Clearly not happy with the results, but they still have one more game to go over there. Even if they lose this one out, they're going to be ported down to the lower bracket finals. So it's not the end of the road for whoever loses this tie.
And well, basically we've gotten what we wanted from the start. So it was 2-1 in game 1. It is 1-2 in game 2, and it's all tied up. So the co-op now becomes very important for both these teams.
Yeah, and it was just one of those, particularly that last moment of the game, you thought V Sharma, surely he's in.
Yeah.
And we've seen the in-game referee sometimes wait till like 4, 5, 6 minutes while the ball is around the goal. It was one of those, and in keeping with the sporting theme of this weekend, it was a no, Michael, no. That was so not right. It was that kind of moment, man. And yeah, you got a feel for Vanshaj, but he has to keep his head up. There's still another entire 90 minutes to play, and they can still easily get that result if they play well.
I mean, this was quite an unlucky match. That's it, because the play and the openings that he created for his team, they were just phenomenal, time and time again.
But you come down to how these players have been playing, right? It has been more about the possession game that we have witnessed. Now, that is again a clear marker. You could see 54-46 in terms of possession game, quite similar to the first matchup that we saw, where FC Goa retained a majority of it. Now, the chances that had been created were really good from FC Goa, but they could not see things through.
But again, things get interesting when you look at the shots and expected goals over there. Quite the opposite of what you see exactly on the scoreboard. And again, all thanks to Mr. Van der Sar.
Yeah, Van der Sar, we've already mailed him the 4 lakh rupee check. It's over. I don't know what these guys are playing for with their top scorer stakes. But listen, sometimes that's how it works. We've seen all of these players profit at some point with a lot of extra time given to them. And I'm sure V Sharma will feel very, very hard done by the fact that he did not get the opportunity to get that shot away, because it was just it was a nailed on goal if that was allowed to go on. So sometimes that's just how life works.
Well, sometimes life works that way, but if you guys don't want to wait for an opportunity, what you can do is buy your favorite teams and players digital collectibles from our digital partners Terra Virtua, who are the leaders in the NFT and metaverse market space. So again, I mean, this is an opportunity for our viewers, but talking about the players, I mean, also during the game, did you feel like Tikka was, even in the early stages of the match, making a lot of mistakes, giving the ball away quite easily, and V Sharma could have capitalized then as well?
Yeah, absolutely. He could have capitalized, and he did capitalize, but I'm sure our viewers will want to capitalize on the fact that they can head over to Terra Virtua and get their awesome NFTs.
Exactly. And there is something. Alrighty, so the digital collectibles that people can get for themselves. And also I wonder who the MVP is going to be and who will be the one getting their own thing.
Well, I've already gotten my Odisha FC, Terra Virtua robot. So I think he went in for the Northeast United FC, if I'm not wrong, a Manchester United fan. So what about you?
I think I will go with Kerala Blasters. Because, I mean, a couple of my friends are going to be there. So, that's the only reason.
And then the Hero eISL finals as well. So
oh yes, that is also going to be a very, very exciting affair. But now coming on to the co-op between these two teams, as Fixes, you have been talking about the co-op situation going on with Mumbai City FC being a slightly favored team in the collision, but FC Goa, they are not an easy team to go up against in this matchup as well.
Of course, referring to the statistics that we do have, clearly Mumbai City FC have been the better team out there. But you never know, FC Goa, they're clearly frustrated. You could see V Sharma, he is a wounded lion, and he could do anything over there.
And also from the side of Mumbai City FC, maybe they have some sinister game plan in their mind to get the co-op match in their own scoreboard. Let's find out. Let's have a conversation with the man who just won an amazing game, Tikka, who's going to be joining us for the interview. And well, here he is. Tikka, first of all, congratulations on the win. That was an amazing performance you delivered. How are you feeling after that?
Thank you so much. Like, I could still feel the pressure, like nerves and all, like game going to the 90th minute, and the referee blowed the whistle there. I was like, phew. Thank God.
What was your reaction for the final whistle right there? Because it looked like V Sharma had a clear run to the goal, could have put the ball in the back of the net, and then the ref just decided it was done.
But that's what I didn't know from like 90 minutes to plus 50, 40. I just wasted my time with Cruyff. So now I knew like even if he gets the ball, the referee will blow the whistle. So I did some game management there. And luckily referee blowed the whistle. So I'll take it. Sometimes you need luck to win.
Yeah, I think at the biggest stakes where it matters, we could clearly agree on the same. But let's talk about your preparations heading into this matchup. Clearly you could see that Ashwin was not happy with how things were being managed inside the field. Not getting a lot of possession out from Afnan. Now, what was your game plan heading into game number 2 with so much pressure to try and see this through?
Actually, there was no game plan. I was like, I'll just play like I play instinctive football. I'll do what I can do and let's see what happens. That was the game plan. Nothing, no pressure basically.
Right, yeah, that's the classic Tikka. It's always the vibes with Tikka. But no, I did have one question, which is that so we saw Afnan doing quite a lot of, and you as well. So both of you all, when you had the 2-1 lead, there was a little bit of. I don't want to call it time wasting, but we'll call it game management, so to speak. So how acceptable is it to the opposition when you start doing that around the 60 or 70 minute mark? Like, what is the ethics around it?
If it's done in a tournament, then it's fine. Like, it's a very high stake game. Obviously, the winner goes into the final. So everything is accepted here. Like, there are no ethics here. You can do whatever you want.
I love that. I love that. It's the final. There's a lot on the line, so whatever goes, just goes. But Tikka, congratulations on this win. And I want to know from you again, the next thing that's going to come up is the co-op matchup. How well prepared are you for that? Are you still going to feel the nerves, or are you now comfortable, all warmed up?
To be honest, we are comfortable, all warmed up. Co-op is something that we are really confident about. So let's see. But nothing to take away from FC Goa. They've been a really good co-op also. Like, anything can happen, but let's see what happens.
Well, we are about to find out. Tikka, thank you so much for joining us for this interview. Congratulations on the win, on best of luck for your match that's going to happen next.
Thank you so much.
Well,
so, no ethics.
No ethics.
No ethics.
Why? I mean, we clearly talked about it, Johnny, when you've got 15 lakhs on the line, because whoever wins this at least secures or guarantees that top 2 spot for themselves. So that's a lot of money that we're talking about, and another chance of dreaming for that FGS golden ticket. For all the viewers out there, you get a chance to go to London, play against the best players in the world. And for an Indian FIFA player, I don't think there's any bigger laurel than that.
I mean, and also, adding to that, I mean, it's fair if the other team did it first in the first match, right?
Yeah. It's true. I mean, it maybe takes away from the spectacle a little bit, but you can totally understand it, right? I mean, you see this typically happen in the real world in football for the last 5 or 7 minutes of the game, and it doesn't seem as long because it's just 5 minutes, but over here, the entire half is 6 minutes. So... but there are ways, of course, for you to counter that. We did see just how much pressure V Sharma was able to put on that ball, and almost like he won that ball. And literally, if he had won that like in real world time, like 3 milliseconds before, he was in and he had his goal. So those are the fine margins we're talking about over here.
Exactly, and he was able to recover the ball quite often as well when the situation came for crunch time. I mean, he was getting the ball quite often. Tikka missing a lot of passes, and V Sharma completely capitalizing on that, but still not being able to convert it into goals. I think we did talk about it a little bit earlier. Just a few unlucky missed shots, and you can't do anything about them. You just can hope that the next time it lands.
This is one of those moments where you would want to get into an interview with V Sharma, right? I could clearly feel that frustrations means how much he loved that game and how much he wanted that last chance over there to try and score it. But I think Tikka clearly explained that he had it all in his mind. Everything was scripted over there. He knew that even the ball went away, it is all A-okay. But like talking about the past statistics, we've discussed that against Mumbai City FC. FC Goa clearly did not have their chances, but today we have seen things that we have
Yeah.
never seen before, right? Afnan coming in so strong, so confident, scoring the first goal in the first 5 minutes itself, which against Ankit Gupta, he took almost 115 minutes. So clearly, FC Goa here have something to prove against Mumbai City FC, who have regained their composure, and this is what all the viewers wanted, right? A game number 3, and here it begins.
Well, we are about to begin with the co-op matchup, and well, quite a lot on the line for both these teams. Again, small recap: first match was won by FC Goa 2-1. Then we go on to match number 2, and it was Mumbai City FC that came out on top 2-1 again. So basically, again, as we wanted, the decider in the co-op.
Yeah, that's what we want. I mean, we want this to go all the way. We want it to go the 90 minutes, then extra time, then penalties. Give us that penalty shootout, man. We've been waiting for it for so long, and here we go. We have finally kicked off, and of course, we do know what these guys are all about in terms of co-op. I think FC Goa, very, very effective, particularly in their defense on co-op. But of course, conversely, you have Mumbai City FC who have the playmaking ability that Ashwin gives you, and then that raw finishing ability that we've seen, and V Sharma will know all too well about over those last 12 or 13 minutes that he had to play. He'll wish it was 13 minutes and 1 second more that he had to play against Tikka. But yeah, it's a quick start from FC Goa, looking to get in. I do wonder whether they might have considered getting that Zidane card in for Kante, just to give them that little bit more attacking edge when they need to, particularly with the narrow formation that they're playing. For now, they're keeping that ball pretty well, and we have seen in Mumbai City's defense that there is that occasional tendency to go a little bit too aggressive in trying to win that ball, and that's what FC Goa will really be searching for.
I think if they do get to have that one moment, that is where they do have that ability to try and score, right? With FC Goa, it's pretty standard. It's usually V Sharma who makes those plays, who makes those crucial passes and gives it away to Afnan, and he has clearly been confident with the finishes, right? It has just gotten better, if not worse, right? And with Mumbai City FC, Ashwin or Tikka, both of them, they do have that ability to go in and score, and could be possibly anyone. We've seen Tikka being one of those players who's been the one scoring majority of the goals out there in terms of comparison against Ashwin. But regardless, I think how this game has been going up so far has all been about trying and retain as much possession, try and find that one little chink in the opposition's armor, and capitalize upon that. With Eusebio, this could be an interesting break as he's trying to pace in from that left wing, searching for that room and space, finds Kante in the process. But who does Kante give it back to? Gets it to Eusebio. FC Goa being very careful with how they want to try and attack this one and try and get a goal out of this, a build-up that has been taking quite some time, and they've been looking very patient. They know that as long as the ball is in their courts, this is something that they can easily play around with, just not give the ball away. But for now, it has been stolen by Pele. And this is where Mumbai City FC look for counter-attack. Eventually, I think they're also going to be trying and doing something really similar. Try to get the ball rolling, try to establish that midfield domination, find that one really, breaking pass, and then get the job done.
Yeah, it's going to be, this game is really about who makes the least mistakes, and of course there is so much potential for mistakes because there is not just 2 variables, there's now 4 variables, and there's so many things that can go wrong. There can be a breakdown in communication, suddenly a player can overcome it when the other player is not ready for it. There can be a player making a run which is not spotted, but now Mumbai City getting in over here, good close control over there, but unfortunately not able to get that shot away for them. And now with Mbappe getting forward, does Ronaldinho have that defensive work rate? He does not for the moment. Now this is about it's about whether you can make the right decisions in these moments for FC Goa, and for now playing it safe, not doing anything particularly to force the issue. Did try to thread a ball through over there, but of course these Team of the Year defensive cards are just almost invincible when it comes to cutting out those through balls. And
This was necessary. It's sort of a necessary evil where,
Yeah.
we were talking about the FIFA 22's defense being so OP, so you've got to get those cards running in. And I was really surprised when we had a much more upgraded version of Van der Sar. And a little bit of trivia there. I think Vanshaj, he likes to play the old Van der Sar and not the new, just because he has worked out well for it.
Yeah, and well, he may be wishing that he had the new one. Maybe that new card could have pulled out the save from Tikka that his old Van der Sar could not. And conversely, the new Van der Sar was making all those saves and keeping him from scoring. But it does get interesting for FC Goa with Afnan on the ball, because Afnan is willing to take those shots on and gets the cut back in there. But too many bodies in the box for that to be effective. It was just running into a cul-de-sac over there. There was no real way out. But keeping that pressure on, again, unnecessary press over there. But of course, we do have the Hero eISL finals happening tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. You absolutely do not want to miss that. Of course, the coverage starts at 7:30 p.m. live on Star Sports Network, Disney Plus, Hotstar, and of course Geo TV. And right after that, we will have the grand finale of the eISL to find out who takes that grand prize. And is it going to be Mumbai City FC putting one foot into the final over here? Not quite. This time, the defense getting the job done, and been very cagey, very tight. I think more or less what we expected from these two teams. They're so evenly matched on co-op. I mean, I totally would love this to go to extra time and penalties. Not the best way to decide anything. But hey, sometimes it's fun to have that little bit of jeopardy on our lives. But Mumbai City FC looking now to not have that as a factor and try to take that lead. But defense, predictably, you would have to say, for FC Goa, doing well so far.
Yeah, I think both the teams have done a really good job in terms of how they've managed their personnel on their defenses. And attacking wise, both of them have been building up those chances, building up those opportunities, but not clearly. There was a moment where we could have said, this would have been a goal, and just did not go through. So could really come down to the fact that who breaks down to the pressure, right? At this particular moment, who makes that one little silly mistake, which becomes the end of their run, at least in the upper bracket finals. Because again, for all the new viewers out there, whoever wins secures a place in the grand finals, and whoever gets defeated over here goes on to face the winners of the elimination matchup between SC Bengal and Chennai FC. And that is another story that I think we have to talk about a little bit later, because now we do have the second half up and running. And this is one of those potential halves that could decide the fate of all these four players.
Yeah, and absolutely, as you mentioned, those two matches, the match between SC Bengal and Chennai FC, and then the final, shall we say, the lower bracket final, are both going to be played today. So what are your Saturday night plans? Cancel them, because you're staying in and watching the eISL. This is really the business end. There's just, one or two more matches left after this to decide who that grand finale winner will be. But now, it's a good attempt, but I think a little bit ambitious over there with the left foot. Of course it was Ashwin. I mean, there's nobody else who takes those kind of strange shots. But yeah, I think the left foot R9 over there. But this time, this is a very good opportunity over here with Messi inside. Needs to play this right. Goes for the finesse shot and looked for a moment. And you knew that was Afnan who was doing that, because V Sharma would never in a million years take that shot. But just for a moment, just for one little moment, that felt like it was maybe creeping into the top corner.
This is the moment when you would want some coaching for you, right? This is where I think you could help a little bit with those Lokmanya coaching classes. Try to do something out of the box for all these four players. And that is what they're trying to do now. Try to go and get those long-range shots going in for yourself. Because clearly, the sort of a game plan that they have come in is not working out. Because the opposition is readied up, waiting to counter-attack on that aspect. So you've got to do something that you've never done before. Go for those really preposterous shots. Take them, because more often than not, we have seen in the eISL, magic has happened. And one of those goals, if we had a award for that, Imad's corner goal, I think that would topple it. But now, again, this has been happening back and forth, right? Possession being retained, then being given away, but nothing in terms of trying to get that 0-0 up for either of these teams. And clearly, I think if this goes on, then we're looking at a potential extra time and a penalty shootout.
Yeah, and of course you do know that now in this game the stakes are really, really high. There's no second chance. I mean, there is a second chance, but in this particular game there's no second chance, and that's a very poor giveaway. And somehow, seeing that out, their hearts would have been in their mouths, and finally they get it out of their defense over there. Mumbai City FC trying to pile on that pressure. Of course, when you're on the back foot, that's the best time, or rather when your opposition is on the back foot, that's the best time to really try to capitalize and go for the kill. And Mumbai City FC, you could see from their pressing over there, that's what they were trying to do. Now, what do they have? They have Messi making the run in behind. There's Hullet over there. The ball to Eusebio was briefly on, but that passing lane was shut down very, very, very quickly. So, yeah, 67 minutes played, and those are the kind of cheap giveaways that FC Goa really can't afford. And they've had a few of them and got away with it. I don't think Mumbai City FC will be so kind if it happens again.
You know, at this point, I'm just holding on to my breath, wanting to see someone finally break the deadlock over here, because 69 minutes, we're hitting 70 really soon, and it hasn't opened up for either of these teams. They have been trying to mess up each other's minds, but clearly, both these teams really sound on defense. They've been finding those opportunities, and at a certain point, you will have to go for those long shots, right? This is the moment where maybe Ashwin has to get his root bullet on and take that long shot. I think there was a point where he used to love to play that KDB card, which he has not after all these new player of the, I think, moments players have come up. So that is something that is out there. We'd have to see in those next 15 minutes. Do we get to see a winner at all? Because I think it's going to be such a close affair. This could be a potential break with Ronaldo. But no, Maldini ever so ready to save the day again.
Yeah, and you can see just both the Mumbai City FC players taking just a pause over there to literally just wipe the sweat off their palms as the ball was in the keeper's gloves, because that's just how stressful the defending is in these moments, and you have to be just so calm, so composed, so focused on the job at hand, because one little slip and then it's pretty much all over. And now getting forward, a good ball to find Hullet over there, and FC Goa then nudging and edging a little bit closer to getting that perfect shooting opportunity. And now again you can see that Mumbai City FC just retreating a little bit. I don't know if it's a part of the plan. I thought Afnan, if that was Afnan on the ball over there, might have thought about the finesse shot over there. This time, good opportunity, but again that cutback, well spotted. And now 82 minutes, big moment over here. It's a massive counter-attacking chance, but again the bravery over there to use Maldini and just relying on the ability of the player to get that ball across. You don't want to be putting the long balls across the defense, my friends, and they get away with that. Now, can they beat their markers over here? It's all about beating one man, and then there will be acres and acres of space opening up. But of course, Mumbai City FC very solid on defense. It's very nervy. 86 minutes. Who's gonna have the bravado to go for that and snatch that winning goal potentially in these 90 minutes?
I think we're going in for some extra time action over here. Maybe if FC Goa managed to find a break finally in the 90th minute, then that could be a completely different story, with Kante passing on towards Hullet. Messi went in for that long-range finesse shot, clearly stopped off right from where he started. But Mumbai City FC, so clearly as it seems, are going to be retaining that final attack. And they haven't really been that explosive unit that we have seen in the past. And it has been such a crazy affair. But with Cruyff, we'll have to look for that cutback. Instead, finds Zidane heading in. Did he pass it right? No. And I think there you go. The full-time whistle being blown off. And for the viewers, we still have a game in hand as we are heading into extra time.
Oh yeah, and you know what? It's just probably just as well that they didn't manage to get that cross into the box, because it was 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock over there. And if Mumbai City FC had been allowed to take their shot and continue on, I think there would have been controllers broken on the other bench, let's say. But yeah, it's not over yet. Of course, let's remind viewers that these matches, when they are tied, there is no concept of a draw once we reach the knockout stage of this tournament. It is Well, it is winner takes all. It is what it is, and we are going to go now 30 minutes of extra time. And if we are still tied, potentially
Yeah.
the first penalty shootout in the history of the eISL.
Oh, that is something I would love to see, at least in an upper bracket finals, and that is what we're going to get. So, a few fresh legs being bought up. Mumbai City FC making some changes. I could see that Messi coming in over there, the card being used. So, we should be anticipating maybe a few chop back finish shots being made by Lionel Messi. But for now, I think, Azim, this is where we would seek your expertise, right? What do both these teams need to do here to find a break, starting with FC Goa?
I mean, FC Goa, they've threatened quite a bit. I mean, we haven't really seen much in terms of clear-cut opportunities. We might see one over here. The clearance not done well at all over there, and panic for all hands on deck at the back over there for Mumbai City FC. The Islanders managing to get away with that, and very good high press over here from FC Goa, and they've given it away. They've given it away, and now an opportunity out of nowhere for Mumbai City FC to counter, but they're deciding to just slow it down. Probably the right thing, just to calm the nerves a little bit, and just creating a little bit of space. No substitutions of note for FC Goa yet. And of course, tired legs will become a factor. Of course, penalty takers will also become a factor at some point if we head into that second half of extra time. Still goalless, but Mumbai City FC almost stealing through over there. And this is where that one little bit of overexertion, that one little bit of committing your defender can be crucial, because on the counter-attack, it depends on who's going to be more adventurous here. Will FC Goa show that ambition to go and hit Mumbai City FC? At this point, they decide to just stay pragmatic. Plenty of time still to go. Still another 3 minutes left in this half, and of course another 15 minutes yet to be played. But this is where it becomes really, really dodgy, really cagey, because both teams are giving no hints either way about how this is going to go. With Hullet, it falls to Messi, trying to burst his way through, but again, Ruben Diaz never going to get out-muscled by Messi over there. And now with 1 minute of added time to be played, I would think that it's going to be half-time over here. And yes, it is. The ball should be played out. And there you go. 15 minutes of in-game time away from a penalty shootout.
Yeah, and both these teams are equally troubled at this point. What do we do to break the other down? But because clearly both have been rock solid in terms of how they've been defending, and the attacking has been looking a little bit under the roof, I must say, because you clearly expect at least Mumbai City FC, the likes of players that they've got, Ashwin and Tikka, would love to do that, and you could see that pressure creeping upon them, right? This is where they're not playing in the natural element, and clearly understood they haven't really gotten enough breaks. FC Goa have been looking very good in terms of how they've been defending, but this could all change, right? Because in those final 15 minutes, it's all down to players losing out on stamina. It's all down to that one little bad mistake, one little pass that you would ideally not make. Could have been this chance over here, but still well dealt with. FC Goa really, really holding on to the nerves, and will make that very important intervention, and now keeping the ball in play.
Yeah, and they don't want to be passing this ball around in defense too much, because of course it is a little bit more difficult to retain possession when you have two players pressing you. But now you could see the eyes lighting up with that run for Eusebio, and now getting into the box there is Messi. He's going to wait at the edge of the area. I think Afnan calling for it. He wants to take that long range shot, but denied the opportunity. Hullet over there now. Let's see if he can create that shooting opportunity. No, I think over there just too many bodies in the way. A little over optimistic, and it does show you almost a sense of desperation now for these players, trying to find something, because the defenses have been completely on top, and that's the overcommit we talk about. That sometimes can lead to a big chance, and well, the defender overcommitting, and we're managing to stick out an infinite limb to cut that ball out.
And now with just 4 minutes remaining in play, I don't think we're going to have any substantial answer as to who's going to win it. It is indeed, ladies and gentlemen, heading out to a penalty shootout that becomes the decider as to who gets to that top two first, right? Clearly, whoever loses this one out still has a chance out there, will be thwarted down to the lower bracket finals, will be playing the winners of SC Bengal and Chennai FC. And that matchup is up next. You clearly do not want to miss that one out. But last moments drama. We have it. The last chance for FC Goa. If they manage to score a goal out of this one, they do. Otherwise, penalty is what we're looking at.
Yeah, it does look like it will be a shootout unless this ball comes in, and it does not. There we go. It is officially the first ever penalty shootout in the eISL. No, doesn't look like there were any substitutions made, and we're straight into it. FC Goa going first. It is Eusebio. Mind games from the keeper, straight down the middle. 1-0 advantage FC Goa.
Ooh, now this is interesting. Karman Tikka. He's going to be taking the shot. Ooh, he might go towards the left, but could have been defended. Clearly, FC Goa would be kicking themselves in the foot as they are going to be taking the shot. This time defended. However, Mumbai City FC need to capitalize on this.
Yeah, it's Ronaldinho now looking for that top corner, trying to be very, very precise. And yeah, the little bit of mind games happening over there. And that's typically what you do in online games as well. You pretend like you're really focusing on one corner and then just hit it down the middle. For FC Goa this time, no worries over there. It is 2-2, but Mumbai City FC, of course, now going for that into the corner. It is wonderfully taken. It's advantage to the Islanders.
Yeah, I mean, 2 more chances and FC Goa have to net everything in and make sure that they save one. Because if that does not happen, it is Mumbai City FC heading on to the finals, and this is exactly what they needed. And the last attempts individually for both these clubs, and with Rudolet managed to score one off. Now the pressure is on.
Oh, is the Van der Sar for V Sharma going to do the job? This time he's sticking it into that corner and he makes it. He makes it. So it's now sudden death. This is it. It's N'Golo Kante. Puts it into the corner. Keeper doesn't commit to one side. And again, now every single kick for Mumbai City FC is torturous. It's torturous, but still we go on 5-all.
Oh, this is it. This is the drama that we have been talking about. Sudden death is where we've all come down to making the most important save. And this one last go from Mumbai City FC seals it for them. Such a long tie. And here they are winning it all. You could clearly witness that sigh of relief as, ladies and gentlemen, it is gonna be the Islanders waiting for the other team in the grand finals.
There you go. Mumbai City FC have made it. It's heartbreak for FC Goa, but not the end of the road for them just yet. They will have another chance in just a few hours to give us the ultimate rematch, potentially, in those finals. But there's the job done, Mumbai City FC. And you can see the disappointment so close. So close over there. I mean, when it comes to penalty shootouts, it's completely a lottery. It's I mean, even the penalty that was saved by Casillas over there was a pretty good penalty. He put it in the corner and just the one player going the right way, the other not. And you can see over there, very, very gracious there from Ashwin coming across. And, well, still another attempt, still another opportunity left for Afnan and V Sharma to go again. And, yeah, now it's about who they're going to be facing in that lower bracket finale.
I mean, even though Mumbai City FC, they won the game, you could see Tikka's hand shaking as he took that sip over there. I mean, imagine the pressure to do that to these professionals who are like seasoned veterans, shaking in their seats. But we got what we wanted at the end of the day. I mean, as soon as it turned 80 minutes inside the game, we saw fixes. I saw fixes with his fingers crossed, just hoping like, yeah, penalties, here we go. Just getting absolutely joyful and happy. But we got more than what we asked for, right? It got to sudden death situation where whoever just missed their shot was done.
Yeah, I mean, it was proper entertainment. Even it went all the way to penalties. The co-op game, I think, understandably, it was a little bit underwhelming because neither team wants to be the one who just throws that away, right? So it was very, very caution first. That was the kind of approach for that game. And even in the penalties, I mean, we did see one save from both teams in the opening set of 5. And then, you know, when it comes down to sudden death, it's just all about the lottery. And Mumbai City FC winning the lottery in that moment over there. Not a lot in terms of goal-mouth action in this game. We did see a couple of long-range shots attempted by both players. But that's really as good as it got in terms of goal-mouth action.
I think clearly FC Goa, we could understand why they were so disappointed with their performance over there, because when the penalty shootouts even started, they were the ones who made that first mistake, right? Then were gracious enough to kind of recover and get themselves inside the game. But then, that last little, save and a score for Mumbai City FC. Now, this is where you could clearly see. I think it was Tikka who was the one who was taking all the penalty shootouts, because, you would ideally want him to do that job, right? And clearly you could see his hand shaking, because, not just, it was just not one man taking a penalty shootout right over there, right? It was the hopes and dreams of, thousands of people watching this stream supporting the Islanders, and you could clearly see that he had to live up to the pressure. And knowing Tikka, this is his first big official competitive tournament, and making sure that his goal counts and he gets his team inside the grand finals. Now talk about the storyline.
I mean, and he made sure that it mattered. His one advantageous goal that made his team be the first team to make it to the grand finals. I mean, a big opportunity for the lads, but as we talked about earlier, now is when the safety cushion comes in play for FC Goa, because losing out in the upper bracket means you still have the lower bracket. One more opportunity, maybe they make it to the finals, but they have to get that win. And we do have the stats in front of us, and this is what I was about to come towards. This is what I wanted to talk about, because as far as the regular time game was concerned, including the overtime as well, the two halves in the overtime, it was FC Goa who looked quite strong. They were constantly able to get the ball's possession, build up some pressure, but not able to finish.
I think clearly in this game, I think we would both agree on this. Both these teams were very sound in terms of their defenses, right? In terms of all these high-octane games, you would expect the other person to be making a mistake. But we did not see anything really that, you could comment upon it. This was the mistake that changed the game, right? The co-op battle between them was so evenly matched up, disregarding what the statistics did speak. Now, FC Goa here are at a certain junction where, they do not have any time to mourn over their losses, right? They have to, bury the hatchet and get on, look at their next opponents, who I do not know if they have prepared enough.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they'll get to watch the next game between Chennai FC and SC East Bengal to get some pointers as to how they're going to approach the game. But you have to say the momentum would be with the team that wins that game, because they're on the up, they're on the rise. FC Goa coming so close, literally at one point were within one kick of a football away from being in that finals, and potentially now could be walking away with nothing more than third place. Of course, they still are guaranteed a bit of prize money over there, but there we see win each for FC Goa and Mumbai City FC, and then of course the jeopardy of that penalty shootout. We got what he wanted, but did we want it? Because it's so heartbreaking to watch the losing team.
You see the reactions in the player cams, and it breaks your heart too. But I mean, we enjoyed the games, right? Let's have a look though right now. Who will be the hero of this match? And well, it is going to be super exciting to see who or which one of these individuals it's going to be. It is Tikka with 5 goals scored.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's the 2 of his goals and 3 penalties scored as well. So yeah, I think Tikka has been the hero for Mumbai City FC for a pretty long time now, and he'll be looking to keep that going now. Just one match away from that grand finale and that eISL, that trophy, which could be resting somewhere in his bedroom, living room, wherever he wants to
Which
be.
is right beside me.
Oh, yeah, it's right.
But yeah, I think more than the numbers, I think I have to emphasize upon the situation, or rather the circumstances under which he got his team playing inside the co-ops, right? Because had he not won his individual matchup against One Church, things could have been completely otherwise, because then we would be looking at a co-op game which had nothing to win for, right? And this is the trophy that we were talking about. I think within after tomorrow we do know where it's going to head out, but after that we still have some heartbreaking news for you, because whoever is going to win this one will go up in a 1v1 encounter against each other for that FGS golden ticket.
We're going to make these lads fight amongst each other as well in the end, which is going to be super exciting. But ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to have a look at the Terra Virtua super moment of this series and see which one it's going to be. I mean, we do have a general idea, because there was this one amazing moment in game number 2, Tikka versus V Sharma, and this was just brilliance of Tika coming into play. As Azim, you pointed out, under pressure, he's the best.
Yeah, and again over there, just simple. I mean, it was a simple scoop turn, but just V Sharma could not anticipate it at all. That's just the speed at which he goes, and you can see the reaction from his teammate there as well. And that was, of course, the decisive goal that got Mumbai City FC the win that they really needed. So I think a worthy winner of our Terra Virtua Super moment.
I think more than that, if you take a look at how this entire matchup really occurred, right? It was the first game FC Goa got that winning goal over there. Afnan making sure he kept his team in line. And then we did have Mumbai City of FC sort of pulling up that comeback. Now everyone loves, those comebacks happening. And clearly, I think it shows how much of a depth do they have in their lineup, right? Even under the pressure, they still perform. They still are here to win matches. Because now for FC Goa, it gets really worse, right? You're going up against two of the most ferocious teams inside the eISL. And considering how they've been playing lately, I think they have a lot to prove. And we're going to see their best version tonight.
Exactly. And talking about those two teams, that one of whom might be facing FC Goa in the lower bracket. Let's have a look at the brackets and see the situation that lies ahead of us after this game is done. So as we have been talking about, Mumbai City FC taking the win, moving on to the grand finals where FC Goa just sit and wait in the lower bracket finale and see who they will go up against. Well, SC East Bengal, Chennai FC, they are already going to be thinking about it. All right, we're going to win this one and then we are going to go towards FC Goa, beat them and make it to the grand finals. I think that's going to be the mindset for both the teams.
No? Because right now, SC East Bengal against Chennai FC, I think you would not want to think anything other than that, right? I think
they stay focused.
Yeah, you have to be focused because that is what we're talking about, right? When we were in those mid phases, even towards those end phases, we thought, these two are going to be the ones playing in the grand finals. But here we are with a completely different teams coming out and everyone just playing their best FIFA, so you never know what to anticipate.
I mean, it does come down to the mindset the lads have before their matches. And talking about mindset, it feels like Mumbai City FT, they were Fort Knox today, completely unbreakable, unshakable. Let's have a conversation with the lads. So it's going to be Ashwin joining us from Mumbai City FC right now. Ashwin, congratulations on the win. That was an exciting game, and I do hear the sigh of relief. How glad were you about those penalty shootouts and the way they went, the final goal being saved?
It was, to be honest, today was it was Tika carry day today because you would have seen like how he can handle pressure going into a game. Like, see, generally in a league game, the second game, even if a draw, you can clutch it in co-op and get the draw for the team. But here it's a must-win game, and if you see his mentality is on like top level. He went into the game and he got us the win, and that's like we felt very confident after that. We thought we could score in the co-op, but it was a very cagey encounter. It went till penalties, and I had my heart in my mouth till the very end. So again, Tika saved the penalty and he scored. So it was all a Tika day today.
But before we head on, I think everyone would want that golden smile of yours in front of the camera because, you haven't been showing us a lot of that. There you go. This is what we're talking about. But yeah, talk to me about what was going in your mind when, I think at an 80-minute marker, you were anticipating maybe this game is going for an ET, then a penalty shootout. But when you got into penalty shootout, did you actually practice your shootouts before? Did you practice the orders, the formation? Tell us something about it.
Penalty shootout is like the cursor which we get is just random. So we take turns in taking it. So it was just we went on with our instincts. I would say, see, nothing to take away from FC Goa. They have been absolutely brilliant till the very end. It was very sad to see them mentally down after this particular game. I just hope they make sure that to get themselves up because they have a game coming up. So they have to be in full form for that also. So with respect to penalties, it was just I would say again we got lucky with it because we just took it at the right place where the opponents don't dive because it's a 33% chance for each penalty. So
well, you played the percentages.
Still not able to get over the game.
Well, you've played the percentages well, and now you find yourselves in that grand finale. Is this something, is this the place, was this always the plan? You came into the eISL thinking, you know what, we have to be in that grind final and you're here. But was that always from day one, that was your belief that we can come out and be in that final and win it?
Whatever happens. I played my game like really bad. The first half which I played today was, it was like I haven't played that game for like in months. Because I had a change in my controller. I couldn't like move my players. It was very difficult for me. Second half I totally changed my tactics and my I played with a new controller, and I could actually I didn't allow zero. I allowed zero shots for Afnan in the second half.
Right.
So I feel like I could have done better. I should have done better in my game so that we could have actually clinched it beforehand. But fine. Again, we take game by game. So right now we have one more game to go.
But
whenever you ask Azim,
Yeah.
we take it game by game.
All right.
We're not looking at the future ahead.
Okay, Ashwin, just before we let you go out, one little question. We have been missing that KDB card from your side. So could you spill some beans out there? Maybe in the grand finals, we get to see that long-range KDB finesse shot or anything that goes in?
KDB's dad is here, Zinedine Zidane, so nowhere KDB is going to come here.
That is just lovely right there. Also, Fixes by trying to get him to reveal his tactics. The finals are still left. The grand finals are still left. So, Ashwin, thank you so much for joining us for this interview. Congratulations on the win. This was a banger of a match. We enjoyed watching this, and I'm pretty sure you need to take a few more breaths because,
Yeah. For neutrals, it will be exciting, but the pressure, what we went down, it's like hard to explain.
But thank you. It was worthy of the finals. I mean, upper bracket finals. So, Ashwin, congratulations on the win once again. All the best for the grand finals now.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Cheers.
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 Yeah, Fixes.
I mean,
you're never going to let it go, right? Just trying to get the insights before the
I
finals.
had to keep myself hydrated throughout, right? Because how this entire matchup was heading out, I really felt, like he said, I was going to have my heart popping out of my mouth. So regardless, it was such an amazing matchup, exactly what the viewers wanted. We could have had a few more goals in the quad, but clearly shows how hungry both these teams were to get this W. And it was just Mumbai City FC edging out with a win.
Exactly. A lot could have happened in this match. I mean, if we keep on talking about it, I mean, there's a lot that could have been discussed, and the match definitely took our breath away. But you know what can take your breath away? It's the digital collectibles that we bring for you guys from our digital partners, Terra Virtua, ladies and gentlemen, the market leaders in terms of NFTs and the metaverse. And here is something exciting for you guys right now. So what an exciting opportunity for our viewers to grab the favorite posters of the favorite teams or players from Terra Virtua. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we do come to an end of this show right here, the matchup that we just witnessed, Mumbai City FC taking on FC Goa. Now, Mumbai City FC, they might have won, but FC Goa, they still have to see who they're going to face up against, and that we will find out in our next matchup that is going to take place on the other broadcast, because this one has come to an end. So thank you so much for tuning in to the eISL, powered by Coca-Cola, with associate partners, Hero Esports partners, Nodwin Gaming, platform partner PlayStation, and digital collectible partner Terra Virtua. And as I said, this show, we have come to an end. Azim and Fixes, thank you so much for joining us. But are you guys ready for the next matchup?
Heck yeah!
Well, we are prepared. You guys need to be prepared too. So make sure you're tuning in for the other stream. Thank you so much for joining this one. We'll see you guys there.